Welcome back to News in Focus. Now, humanitarian organization Gift of the Giver says it has extended its response in Limpopo and Mpumalanga following severe flooding in the respective provinces. Heavy rains have damaged over 1,600 homes, including those that have been submerged. The heavy rains and flooding have also claimed at least 9 lives, while more people are feared missing. Joining me now, I'd like to welcome Ali Sable, who is the spokesperson for the Gift of the Givers. Ali, absolute pleasure having you on. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Walaikum salam to you and to all the viewers.
No, it's an absolute pleasure. I guess, Ali, when we see what has happened over this weekend in both those provinces, it just really shows how devastating these floods have been. What has been the Gift of the Givers assessment of the situation in both of those provinces?
As we do know, it's a level 9. It's the level warning went from level 6 to level warning 9 within a few hours, and then on Sunday the level warning pushed up to level warning 10, which is a red alert, and that being put in place. Unfortunately, within a few hours, most of the national highways, most of the roads, most of the bridges around the Limpopo and Mpumalanga area have completely washed away, cutting off many communities from receiving basic aid, and in terms of water being contaminated, and when we're speaking to the teams on the ground and to disaster officials, it was at that crucial 48 hours, it was impossible to access the communities due to the extent of damage the rains has caused over that last few 48 hours. Gift of the Givers teams were immediately on the ground, but the only challenge for us was the inaccessibility of roads, thus hindering our humanitarian aid distribution to assist those affected. We have managed to start off in the Palabora area, where we've managed to access some villages where the province made 5 helicopters available, 4 from the province, 1 from the SANDF. And with that being in place, we managed to access some communities. But as the days progressed, we received more and more calls from villages cut off, pleading for food, pleading for water. And then we sent a second team into the Mpumalanga province, speaking to the Honorable Premier in Ndlovu, who then informed us he'll be forming a special task team to work with our teams. And when our teams reached the ground, within 12 hours, we managed to assist 800 homes in 4 districts that were affected, namely the Chief Albert Lutuli, Mbombela, Umkondo, and today our teams are stretching out into Nkomazi. And as the rain subsides, there's more areas coming forward that's been affected. We have a second team moving Limpopo as well. They're currently in the area of Vembe, and the teams are informing us how difficult it is to navigate through these muddy roads.
You know, Ali, and I'm sure not just you and I, but so many South Africans, one of our great assets, the Kruger National Park, we saw flooding, affecting that area. And I guess that park means so much to us as South Africans. Has Gift of the Givers assisted in that part as well? Because I guess we know when seeing the pictures, we have elephants that were trying to assist, its herd to get over the river. But it's not just those animals, it's many others, but also the people that stay within that Kruger National Park area. So has Gift of the Givers been there, and what has been the assessment with regards to that part of the country?
In fact, tomorrow we have trucks departing for the Kruger National Park. There's 300 families that is dependent on on work around the Kruger. We will be assisting those 300 families with non-perishable food parcels, with clean drinking water, with personal hygiene care item packs. This morning they informed us there's many babies around there as well, with baby care packs. And then there was an urgent need for chlorine to clean the water. So our teams are in contact with the Kruger National Park management. They have been in contact with us. Unfortunately, we could not access due to the many roads that was being flooded. But the aid that will be coming into the Kruger, the Kruger National Park has made a helicopter available to transport the aid to other parts of the Kruger that's completely cut off. So at least that families can get assistance. It's been a number of days, so there is a plan in place to assist those around the Kruger National Park. We do know that as well. There's many areas around villages around the park that has also been affected. both from the Mpumalanga side and the other side leading to the other provinces as well. So our teams are currently busy working on a strategy, and by hope tomorrow the trucks will be departing, and on Thursday morning there's a scheduled date for the distribution to areas around the Kruger National Park.
Inshallah, I mean, when we make dua that, of course, those trucks get to those areas, especially for the people that are in need of it. I think, Ali, one part of it is, of course, getting the food and getting the necessary aid into those areas. But so much of infrastructural damage has happened, and we saw it happening in Kruger National Park, but also the basic amenities that people depend on, whether it's schools, whether it's hospitals, and other centers. Is that where Gift of the Givers is also going to be assisting in trying to build some sort of, whether it's permanent or temporary structure, just to help the people to get back to their lives? Because we do know that, of course, schools have been suspended in the provinces that have been affected.
We do know it has been declared a national disaster. All spheres of government is working around the clock to ensure that in terms of basic needs of the flood victims is taken care of. We do know National Department of Human Settlements teams are working with the provinces. We heard this morning temporary shelters will be those to those people that lost their homes completely, or those homes that are partially damaged. We do know the areas, the management of water and sanitation has been on the ground. Kochta has been on the ground. The presidency has been on the ground. Seeing that's a national disaster. So in terms of that, in terms of permanent accommodation and temporary accommodation, that will be the course of government to put in place. Our assistance is more the immediate, urgent humanitarian need. We know there's a massive shortage of food items going into these affected areas. Speaking to one of our team members just before this interview, he was even saying that they reached a village in Vembe today that was cut off for 7 days, and the premier apologized that it was such a slow procedure. But we do know, although the helicopters were there to assist, when that inclement weather came through, it was impossible for the helicopters to fly, and our teams had to use every access road today in terms of getting into this area, many of them elderly people. And here we have to pay credit to the faith-based organization. There's many churches that opened up their halls to accommodate these people, but it's to be a long humanitarian operation as Gift of the Givers for the next few weeks rolls out into this area. You made a very good point of back to school. We do know it was a bleak start for the school year for these flood victims, the children especially, where there's many schools that are permanently damaged as well. And we do know the education department is trying to get temporary structures up to temporary classrooms to assist these learners. But in terms of stationery and school uniform, that is on the cards. We are just waiting to access the villages to get the exact number of learners affected, and that will be a rollout, or the next phase of rollout, to ensure there's no interruption in the school calendar for these learners.
Ali, when we look at floods, when we assess it, I guess it's one of those that we'll always speak about climate change and just how much it affects the rest of the world, especially here in South Africa. And I guess for the viewer out there who's, probably been living under a rock, and we hope not everyone's been doing that, the difficulties that get presented to humanitarian organizations like yourself in really getting to areas where there's been so much of destruction due to floods.
We used last year's example of in Umtata, the biggest disaster in the Eastern Cape's history, where it was on 10th of June, in the early hours of the morning. The night before, it was declared a level warning 6. In a few hours, it was shot up to level warning 9. And by that time, there was already learners and people on their way to work. That disaster on the 10th of June killed 103 people. People that drowned, parents that has lost all their children. We heard of one family where both their children left for school, and unfortunately, both children drowned. That involved search and operation and humanitarian intervention at one time. But then we see the extent of floods occurring on many occasions. We had the floods that occurred now currently in Limpopo and Mpumalanga, where nobody expected it to be so vast. And then, of course, we had many floods from 2021 up till currently in KZN. So we see climate change happening. In one country, there's extreme rain. In the other country, there's extreme drought. Look at Naisna currently. We have a huge intervention there at the moment where it's been declared day zero already. We have water tankers working around the clock. We have to bring in extra Jojo tanks. We have extra 3 water tankers of 35,000 liters per tanker coming in to assist those that's currently going through the drought. And there's many municipalities around the Naisna area that is facing similar situations. Areas such as the Bito municipality, which covers Plettenberg Bay, they have close to 25 to 30 days of water left. This morning we received calls from Laingsburg and Beaufort West, where the Gamka Dam is currently sitting on 30%, and they already have strict water restrictions in place. So we see the effect of climate change happening around the country, where half of the country is experiencing floods and the other half is experiencing extreme drought.
Ali Sable, absolute pleasure having you, and shukran so much for joining us. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
That's Ali Sable, a spokesperson from the Gift of the Givers. Well, that's all we have for you here on News in Focus from myself, Ross Patel, and the rest of the team in Johannesburg. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.